Today, we'll dive into Mark's journey from childhood bullying to adult, exploring how this experience inspired him to create an interactive book. We'll get into it after I hit this music. Joining me this week is author Mark White. Mark, thank you so much for coming on today.
Yes, thank you, Tim. I love your show, man, and anything I can do to support you.
Yes, and I love the title of your book that you have. Is it out right now? I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but you titled your book, There Are Bullies in This Book. I love that title.
Right.
It's
So
catchy.
there are actually 5 books out. There's going to be a total of 12, and those are aimed for younger kids because
Okay.
we need people to be aware of bullying. And then there's teen books that are out, which I actually put it on. It's called Fear, but let's talk about the bullying books because that's the thing is
Yeah.
people do get
Yeah.
bullied, right?
Yes. So, Mark, tell us your inspiration for There Are Bullies in This Book. You mentioned to me in email that you experienced bullying as a child. So let's start from there and go up.
Yeah. Okay. And I hope this doesn't get emotional and stuff. So uh, I've researched what bullying does now, and you look back and you think, wow. So bullying, my first experience, and which is typical with most people, is when they move or they change a school or something. And I was at one school, and I went to another school in 4th grade, and it was a different people. I didn't know anybody, and I went into the bathroom, and for my first time ever, I saw these, and I won't give any of their descriptions, but I saw some guys smoking in the bathroom right by the window. And I'm 9, right? 9, 10 maybe. And I just stare, my mouth drops. And then again, what are you looking at? Well, by that time it's a little too late, right? What do you say? Nothing. Oh my gosh, I could have thought of something better than that. Well, they were probably afraid I was going to tell on them or something. And that's when they said, you're going to beat you up. We're meeting you behind the school. Right. And I'm scared. They're bigger than me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And the next thing I knew, halfway through another class, people already telling me, you're fighting so-and-so, you're fighting so-and-so. And I'm just staring at people. And it was a major peer pressure. By the end of school, I'm nervous. I mean, I'm nervous right now just rethinking about it. I'm one of these kids that my chest turns red and everything.
Yeah.
And so I went out there, and not knowing, I didn't know anything about fighting or bullying or boxing, but we went out behind the little, they were baseball, behind the backstop, right? And there's the
Yep.
fields. And we went back there, and they were just like in the movies, a group of people around wanting to watch this stuff.
Yeah.
All of his friends, hardly any of my friends, because my friends don't do this stuff, but a few of them had showed up. And we're in the ring, and I'm looking at him, and he comes out and he hits me like a 10-year-old can hit. And I hit him, and I will say I got a lucky punch. I hit him right in the nose, and he started bleeding. Trust me, I had a major black eye the next day. But after the
Yeah.
first couple of punches, it turned into a wrestling match, in the dirt. And then, because the kids are all yelling, just like the movies, fight, fight. And the crowd grew larger and larger. Everybody walking from school came over to see what was going on. Finally, teachers came by and broke it up, But that was my first.
So did your classmates kind of push you out the door to get you back there, or did you just kind of free will
Well,
walk back there?
as again, I was a new school. I was still trying to
Yeah.
make friends, right?
Okay.
And so after they ask, "Are you fighting?" And I'm not saying names. Are you fighting so and so? I'm an idiot at that age, right? You're afraid to say no. I'm not going to fight. I'm scared. And they after school, those kids knew the class I was at, and they were all kind of standing around. Come on, let's go. And so it was a group of people. It's not like I walked by myself all
Yeah.
out. I would not. I'd have ran the other way. No, it was a group of us walking out there. They were watching me from the second that we got out of class.
Straight out of the movies. That's kind of usually how all the movies are set up. The kid,
Yeah.
you're watching that clock tick down to 3 o'clock. You're like, oh my gosh, here we go.
Yes.
Were these kids by chance wearing white T-shirts and black leather jackets?
No.
That's
But
what we're missing.
Yeah, that's all we're missing, right? Okay, that's all. And I want to add on to that. So I moved again in sixth grade, and this is the most embarrassing, but I say that so that people understand that bullying has its effects, right?
Mhm.
Whether you know it or not. I had a twin brother, right, and a sister. We're all in the same class, right? My parents were, five of us in 3.5 years. But we, when we moved again, I was scared at the new school, and this school was even worse. I was scared to go to the bathroom, right? I know it's subconscious and everything else, but if my brother was with me, I would go. But if it wasn't, I wouldn't. And this is sixth grade, remind you, right? I mean, some of these kids are already have underarm hair, I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's different, starting in the sixth grade. And I wouldn't go to the bathroom. And because of that, I ended up in class after lunch. The teacher left for a good 2 or 3 hours. It was weird. I was shocked. I'm like, what is going on? And kids were pulling their desks together and cussing, and I'm sitting there just waiting for the teacher to come back, watching the clock. And I I ended up in sixth grade, and I'm telling this now,
yeah.
everybody forget it. I I had to go so bad, and I ended up you know, wetting my pants in
Oh,
sixth
no.
grade.
In front of
Yeah.
all the kids?
Oh yeah. Of course, they didn't know
Oh,
at the
man.
time. Of course, if you've ever been in such pain, you got to go. You've been in pain, and what happened? It's like just a little trickle came out, and it just felt good, and then I just a little bit more, and then all of a sudden, your just body just releases, and
Yeah,
went down my chair under the seat, and then we get up to go to recess, and the kid looks down. There's a puddle under my desk that's almost run out into between the chairs, the rows.
yeah.
And of course, he yells, Mark, wet his pants. And everybody yelled. And the
Oh,
teacher,
no.
luckily, yeah. So
Teacher
that was
finally
my,
came back, and the teacher finally came back?
oh, yeah. The teacher was back right there, right before time to go out. He came back 5 minutes later. Of course, what am I going to do? Hey, I wet my pants. Can I go change? I'm sitting there, sweating it out, just hoping it all go away. And again, I blame that on that, that I was just scared to go to the bathroom. And nobody should be scared to go to the bathroom, man. But I
Yeah.
was. I was.
You know what's interesting? The bathrooms are still the place where a lot of bullying and fights happen. I have students that I work with. They always tell me the bathrooms. There's a fight every day. It's always in the bathrooms. It's like, just put a teacher up there between classes. How hard is this to do? But nothing's changed apparently from since you were a kid. So
Right.
still the same thing going on today, even in
Yeah.
my community. So
Yeah.
so did you suffer any bullying after that point from like wetting your pants in front of everybody?
I ended up, we moved again a year later, but I
Wow.
was the biggest kid in that school, was the one next to me. And I helped him with math. I'm embarrassed to say it now, but I let him cheat off my paper. That was my, hey, so I didn't mind. He was real nice guy, right? But I knew he was looking over, and I wasn't about to say anything. But we became good buds. Within 2 weeks, I was back friends with all the kids in class, and I don't know how the teacher explained it away. He pulled me in class the next day and said he told to the kids, and it was an accident, that it was a medical condition or something. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, I didn't. The nickname didn't stick or anything else, so I came out of that one. Um, you know, not as bad as I would have thought, but
Yeah.
we did move again. And I was glad that we moved because it went to better school by the time I got into seventh grade.
Okay. Anything else happen in your childhood from seventh grade to graduation, or did everything kind of slow down a bit for you?
So I do want to say this one because it's a point I want to make to people. Um, I was good looking, cute, small, twin, blonde hair, real popular when we went into classes, things like this, and popular with the popular girls. And but I had a look, um, blonde hair, deceiving haircut, and little, that bullies, these bullies came up and they called me names, that I didn't even know what the name was. Right, honestly, I did not know what
Mhm.
that term was at the time. And one of the more popular girls, after a guy had said that and kind of shoved my shoulder, she looked at him, and I'll never forget this. She said, to the bully, to the guy. I hope that made you feel big for how small that made you look. And he had no response, and he never bullied me again. And nothing against bullied me. And it was just cool, right? And I was shocked, but she was confident enough in herself that she could recognize bullying behavior and say something against it. Anyway, did not expect this, Tim. Sorry, I'm about 7 foot tall. No, anyway,
fine.
you know, it is. It's I'm fine with it now at this age, but boy, I wouldn't have been fine doing this when I was in high school. But can I talk about what I
Go
think
for it.
people should? Okay, so I've got 2 acronyms. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. But if you are cyberbullied, because that's one thing that's coming up so big, the acronym is REACT. R, record it. Document the bullying. Take a screenshot, right? Even if it's once. 2, escape, which basically means do not respond or engage. You don't get in a fight with the bully, right? Or don't get in a fight with a 4-year-old. Same reason, right? You're never going to win it. They're better at it than you, right? They're idiots, okay? Alert, okay? So RE, record, escape. A, alert. Tell somebody, a trusted adult, okay, is the best thing, right? Or tell Tim Flynn. He will do something about it, right? And then control. You can adjust your privacy settings, right? And then terminate, right? Terminate, report, and block that bully, right? I don't care. You don't need to stay friends with those type of people or whatever. So that's if you're cyberbullied. But the more important, Tim, I want to make today, and it's based off the girl that stood up for me, is act now. If you see cyberbullying, if you see someone do a bad post, or you see somebody say something that hollers some kid, you want to act now. And the A is to acknowledge. Everyone needs to understand and recognize that cyberbullying is harmful. There are bots that do this, but let's just say that 1,000 posts get made about you're ugly and you should die, kill yourself, or whatever. That's the type of stuff we're seeing. 1,000 people may not affect, but what if that one kid, that 1 in 1,000, sees because these things are written pretty good, sees it, and it hits them just at the right time when they're not feeling great, right? And they're depressed, and it affects them, and they don't want to do social media. They think they don't have friends. That's how powerful it can be. So cyberbullying is bad. So first, everybody needs to acknowledge that. Now, if you're a bystander, challenge it. Speak out against the bullying behavior, but in big red letters here, Tim, if it's safe, right? And you should know if it's safe. Do not, I'll come meet you at your house or anything, but if it's safe and you feel comfortable, speak out against the bullying behavior. Report the incident to a responsible adult or platform. So that's act, acknowledge, challenge, tell, and then notify. Now, act now. 1, notify, and this is the big one, inform the person that's being bullied that you saw what that other person said and that you don't think it was great, and they offer any help. That just saying that is the same thing as that girl.
Yeah.
Okay. And then now, offer, provide support, be a listening ear. Sometimes that's all that person needs. They need to understand. So you just listen. You don't have to say anything. Just listen to them, and then witness it. You to document the bullying with screenshots if possible. Now, I'm gonna give you a couple facts real quick. Is that okay, Tim?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. One fact, okay, is that of the people that if anybody interacts, right, over close to 60%, it's over 57%, stops the cyberbullying within 10 seconds. That's what these are records. If one person, anybody come up and say, hey, that's not nice or anything, well over 50%, it stops immediately, right? And I mean, you saw, my story. Okay, I know that helped me. And that's all it takes is somebody to do that. So you want that. Now, the next thing is they asked all these teens, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I know. If you saw cyberbullying, okay, would you want to help? 70% of them, oh, yeah, 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 right? Then they asked, do you know how to help? Guess what? Percentage is way up there too. Over 60% don't know what to help, right? Don't know what to do. And it's easy. Um, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna give you the my book that's coming out. Not it's another graphic novel that's free that's going to say this. But one is just a positive comment. You just balance that out as a direct intervention. So if someone called you Tim, you're just a big bully yourself, right? You're going, what? Why is somebody calling me a bully, right?
Oh, I already had people do that to me already, so it's
Okay,
I've
all
been
right.
there, done that, so no worries.
Okay, okay. Well, good. When people say that, it's got to be helpful for somebody else to say, that person don't know what they're talking about, Tim. Oh my gosh, all right? Just don't let it get to you. It does help, right? Now, if nobody says anything, it's kind of rough. You don't want to, especially on cyberbullying, you don't want to do it on the internet thing. But trust me, if somebody posted something bad about you online, it doesn't look good for Tim himself to respond. But man, it's okay if anybody else responds for you, right?
The hard part about that though is there's people who are afraid of those people as well, where they don't want to respond because they're just as scared because they will get attacked as well. So
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. And and you're right. That's why I say if you think it's safe, right? So then the other thing is you private message the person that was bullied. Okay. So this is a private, hey, I saw what they said. I'm here for you. Right. So if you cannot, then that's why we say if it's safe, right, respond. And the things that can say are safe, that they basically say is something like, hey, you don't deserve that. You're awesome. Don't listen to them. They say, but you can tell the person, this is the simple one. It just says, that's not okay. Please stop. I don't, that's bullying. That's cyberbullying. I think you should stop. And that's just something simple, or that came across mean. So if you can say it right, just something simple, but
Yep.
obviously you can't fight a bully by becoming a bully, right?
No, I mean, there's people trying to use my platform, which is anti-bullying, against me, and they're like, "Oh, Tim is he bullies others who don't agree with him, or like they just making things up." All they're trying to do is get me to stop doing what I'm doing, or get me down to their level. And I just came to the point like, yeah, whatever. Um, Ignore you, block you. It's simple, you know.
Yeah.
Shut them up. Don't care. Adults, I find adults are just as mean as kids, because
Oh, yes.
adults will justify why they can do it. Well, I can do it because I'm fighting for this cause. Versus the kid does it, the kid gets in trouble if they get caught. Podcast for another day. Totally messed up. But
Yes.
but that's just the way life seems to be going on right now, and not just in my life. I'm talking about like the whole community, our whole world seems to be all into this bullying. We bully each other for political views. We bully each other for religious views. We bully each other for the stupidest things that shouldn't even matter to each other. It's like, who cares?
Now,
Let people live their life the way they want to live it, and who cares? But we got to be
that
nosy.
yeah, I mean, each to their own, right? I mean,
Yes.
look for the good in people and not look for the bad. And you're right when you said the politics, because that's sad that our way, instead of telling you, hey, this is what I can do for you, they got to say what's bad about the other person. And I'm like, guys, come on,
Here's one thing I discovered, because I experienced a little bit of cyberbullying, and if you listen to the next week's episode, the guest that I have on, she's been she was the main focus of the cyberbullying. But one thing I noticed with these people who cyberbully, especially like the adults, these if you go to like say their Facebook page, this one lady dealt with a death of her husband. This one lady dealt with cancer. She got divorced. Her husband eventually died due to alcoholism. These people, their life is way worse than my life. Their life sucks. Not to be mean to them, but their life sucks so bad that it makes them feel better for them to come after me or anybody else, so they can feel good about themselves to make that person's life try to suck. So my biggest thing, like, so when I see people making those types of comments, I'm like, hey, whatever makes you happy that day, leave it alone,
Yes.
forgive them, just stop interacting with them. It's a mental health issue that they're dealing with, which is sad. No one should ever lose a spouse, divorce, alcoholism, all that stuff's bad. And you gotta feel for these people. So when you look at these people who are cyberbullying, if you take a look at their personal pages, it's like, now it makes sense. So it kind of takes a sting off a bit off of you, because otherwise you get sucked down to their level, and you don't want to be in their level. I mean, I don't want to be where they're at, but
You
you can have some empathy for them and some compassion. It's like, hey, if try to give me some pain, it's gonna make you feel better, have at it. But
Yeah. Well, that's.
you know,
I mean, you got big shoulders though, Tim. But and I in the book Fear, which is if you go to the website zane.me, you'll see all these. But one is actually teen books, and it's out on audio book now too. And I will give everybody free codes. Matter of fact, the book itself on everything but Amazon is free. And I'll tell
okay,
people go there, and it's called Fear, and it is focused on bullying. It helps people. So it's a sci-fi story anyway. So that's
yeah.
the one.
Well, we'll talk more about that towards the end of the podcast.
Yeah,
I'll give you
yeah,
time to
yeah,
plug in.
yep.
So no worries about that. I do want to get into, though, as I opened up in the beginning, your adulthood. What have you experienced as an adult with bullying?
Yes. So you started it off. I mean, why do people bully? And one of the reasons is envy, right?
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people as an adult don't even know that they're being bullied. They just think, why has that person got something wrong with me? Why are they envious? So, my first as an adult, I'm in the Air Force basic training, and the first day, man, the TIs, he's grabbing everybody, bad, 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 yeah, no, what on? And I'm just, praying and doing my list to just hope I'm good. And he comes up to me and he yells my name, White. Your shoes look great, White. I want everyone's shoes to look like White's tomorrow. Oh, okay, that started it. Well, then people were coming up all night long looking, comparing their shoes to my shoes. Then they were doing on test. I ended up being an honor graduate, but I don't know if you know anything about the Army or the Air Force, but you have inspections, and we had foot lockers. We were in the old dorms. We had foot lockers, and you have to have your T-shirts 6x6 squares. Everything's perfect. And the thing to do, okay, was to turn somebody's foot locker upside down right before an inspection, because they were going to get a 340. They were going to get pulled, and sure enough, that happened to me. And I don't. They open it up, and again, I was a good little kid. I mean, I just about broke down. Then I couldn't believe someone had done that. That my footlocker had been turned upside down, and that was my first one. I thought, wow. I mean, call that bullying if you want. I don't know what you want to call it, but I call it bullying, right? And then later in life, even same thing. A vice president loved me, and that's and people at your work. You ever had somebody that is right above you, but the person above them really likes you, right? They think you're great, and that
Yeah.
middle person, they don't like that. And mine was gotten so bad that they actually had told me, you can't go up on the leadership floor anymore, right? You ever go up there again, you're fired. That's just a waste of our time.
Hmm.
And the vice president secretary called me and said, hey, Mark, that one graphic, can you bring it up? You know, and I just walked it up the stairs and back down. When I came down, they pulled me in the office. You're fired. What? You're fired. I mean, fired me. This was my job, my livelihood.
Yeah.
And they fired me. And again, even at this age, I don't know what to do. I'm just upset. You don't understand how upset you get the first time this happens to you. And me, a few times, I just turn red. I go to my desk, I pick my stuff up, and I'm walking out. And luckily, another VP saw me. Where you going, Mark? And I said, they just fired me. He goes, what? Just hold on, hold on. And within 2 hours of being home, the vice president of HR called me. You're not fired. You got just take this week off, fully paid. We'll get to the bottom of this. And the president brought those people in. Of course, they said that I walked out on them. They're lying, right?
Yeah.
I did not. I would never
Of
walk
course,
out.
yeah. They gotta cover their butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said, if you bring him back, we're quitting. And the president said, okay, I appreciate that, and let him quit. And it was, but that was really, so those are my big episodes. But bullying happens at all ages. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that you get bullied, right? On cyberbullying, right? everybody needs to know we all get it.
Yeah, it's how you handle it. It's you get to the point now, like, yeah, just ignore it.
It,
Oh,
it,
it's like you said, it's envy. Like in the Air Force for you, it's like people. It's envy, jealousy. You know,
yes.
it's nothing personal against what you're doing. It's all on that person. They're just trying to get you down to their level.
Yeah, I actually had one of the other guys yell across the barracks. You had 50 people in a barrack, right? All close together beds. And this is back in the day. And he basically yelled, "Why is everybody asking white? There's other people that know stuff too." And I'm like, he says that out loud. I mean, of course, I would never ever say that. But that's how envious a person can be, that they lose control of their own emotions and just almost admit it. That
Yeah,
they think because people are like you, they don't like them. That has nothing to do with it, right?
yeah. So how'd you get inspired one day to just start writing these books?
Okay. And you're right. That would have been a past. My niece, okay, who I think is adorable, she sat in the car and she just comes up and they mentioned that she was bullied. And I'm talking, I don't even want to repeat what they said, but it was like, get a knife to you, gut you, things like this. It was
Oh,
about four or
geez.
five. Yeah, it was graphic. And I'm like, okay, that's a little worse than meat behind a backstop, right? I mean, that was graphic what they had threatened to do with her, and she's scared to go to school. It was bad. Now it's all better now. Okay, I'd be glad to say that, but that was it. And so I just started doing the research and figuring out, hey, just someone's got to stop. Someone's got to help these people, and that's how I found people like yourself. And there's a lot of us that,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
we want to help, right? Not for the money, not for the glory, anything else. We just care about these people, right? And
Yeah.
so that
Well,
that got me
I
into
don't
it.
think there's a lot of us, but not enough of us at the same time. I feel like there needs to be more, like everywhere you go, because I think it could truly help.
I agreed.
Our reach is only so far. Our reach is only so far. There needs to be more.
Yes, that's why I give the books away for free. I've got it on audio, but I mean, I just do stuff right to get it out there. It's spreading. It is starting to spread these types of things. You've got a pretty good little following there yourself, Tim.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's I don't do it for to become making this my job career. I do this to practice my public speaking as well. But it also, I learn all these different perspectives of bullying from different people, stuff that I would have never even thought about. And I just take all these experiences and I make my own stuff with it. So
That's good.
basically, you're helping me become smarter in this area. So then I could turn around and educate more people. Um, really, I'm just like the student, and everybody else on my show is a teacher, and I'm learning from them.
Right.
So
Well,
that's how it goes.
yeah.
So, uh, going to your book, there are bullies in this book. How many? Now you said this earlier. This was like a series of books, correct?
So there's the children's book, which what I after research, I found out that the first time you're bullied, you need to have already known about the bullying behavior. So I thought I'm starting at a young age,
Yep.
and so these are made from 4 to 9 year olds, and they have scenarios and they're interactive stories, and these are proven to work. I mean, I mean, let's don't go over. But if a child gets to live through that bullying behavior in advance and see the options A, B, or C, and make a decision, then that is the best learning experience. Is better than you saying, if you're ever bullied, come tell me, right? Okay, that's one. You can say that 100 times to a kid, but the second that they have the option to make at A, B, or C, and they make that, it ingrains in their brain. And so, what these
Yeah.
books, interactive, if they make the bad choice, then they get this animated bully, right? They know that that was a bully choice. If they make the bystander that doesn't do anything, like I'm going to be quiet, they just get a little close. But if they make the right choice, they get rewarded with another interactive game or a puzzle or a hide and seek or something else. And it's all touching. They can touch on iPads. They can work on their phones,
Okay.
and it's to help these kids. And now it's not all just about bullying. It's all about being kind. Everything from, you know, not asking what your grandmother, my favorite, because I used it on my granddaughter, was, you know, you go into the store and you ask, hey, can I have that? Right. And the grandmother says, sure. And then a little bit later, they're, oh, can I have that too? Okay, now wait a minute. Okay. And so it says, what would you do? You know, say, can I change? You know, it's just things like that. And it
So
works.
is this like an interactive game they play on a tablet rather than a?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
And you created all that yourself.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's
A lot of
awesome.
studying. I mean, you try one out, it may look like it was easy, but it's 7 different software programs that you got to
Oh
get through
wow.
and stuff, right? But it's good, and it's they play it, and there's 3 stories for each book. There's 5 books, and I've got them all the way through. They're already drafted all the way through December 12th, which would be the 12th one. But I've got them for what do you do when the kids are afraid to go back to school? What do you do at Halloween? People make fun of their costumes. So I've got different ones that these children get to live that experience through somebody else first. And so they're really, really, I think they're cool, but you should check them
Yeah,
out.
it does sound cool. So where can I find these?
So everything is at Zane.me, and it's spelled XANE.me. About as
Okay.
quick as we can get it. But if you go there, one of the tabs says free EPUBs, and that's the page that has them all. And then you just click on them, and they'll open and run them right there for you on your phone or whatever. You have to be connected to the internet. I
Of course.
first tried to make them to where you could download them because they're so graphic intense. They were just too big, and I thought,
Yeah,
who wants to download a 20 meg file onto their phone? You know?
exactly. Well, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to take a look at that myself. And for those of you listening, you'll find his website in the episode description. Everybody else saw the website go across their screen. Mark, is there anything else you want to share with us before we wrap this up? You have any other books besides
Yeah,
bullies in the books? What else
yeah.
do you do?
So there are bullies in this book is aimed at that young group. Then there are 2 graphic novels really aimed at teens. One is the story, and the bully is I'm being bullied, right? And she helps him through, and she explains why do people bully to him and how to do it and how to stand up to bullies. And then the next one is cyberbullying. There's a girl that's getting cyberbullied, and it tells. And so those are all free. Just go check them out. Then you get into the young adult teen fictions, okay, which are actually there's 12 emotions that teens go through. And the first one is fear. You know, you go back to school, you got bullies, your peer pressure. And so it walks this child through their fear and getting help through it. They're fun books. At least I think they are. They're called novellas because they're like you can sit down and get them on a plane, watch them read them 3 or 4 hours. Um, but they're free. Okay, that fear is free. The other ones start to charge money, but they're
Okay.
all free, and it's all for anti-bullying. And so I highly go to the website, and you'll see everything right there.
Awesome. And Mark, besides website, is there any social media where people can follow you?
I do have and on the website, it'll give you the link to the Instagram and the Facebook. Okay, they're at the bottom of it that they can follow me. It's matter of fact, it's the next month is all about react and act now and what to do and how to do. So it's going to be on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this podcast is recorded in May. This episode comes out in June. So the time you're listening to it, it's already out. So go check that out as well.
Yes, yes, yes. I'll probably have the 3rd graphic novel up there too. So that'll be
Oh,
perfect.
there you go.
Yes.
I have to record a bunch of episodes before summer gets here because I'm with my kids all summer. So
Ah,
not paying for daycare or after school or summer camps, too expensive. So just me
all
and my
right.
kiddos. So Mark,
Okay.
thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah. Hey, Tim.
Yes.
I'm gonna get your permission now, or you can say no. I think I'm gonna use Tim Flynn as one of the characters in the next episode
Oh,
books. Is that okay?
yeah, I
Do
would
you
love
want
it.
do you want to be the kid getting bullied, or do you want to be the bully?
Whatever works best in your story. I always wanted to be a bad person, be the bad guy in something. It'd be kind of cool.
All right. Okay. Go. Good. Good.
Whatever
Yeah.
you want to
No.
do.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun. It'll be tongue in cheek, right? Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Mark, thanks again for coming on today.
Yes. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate all that you do to support this bullying challenge that we have.
Awesome.